flow so slick, circus stay garbled. Encrypted hustle, no chains, no marbles. Faster than the rest, cost stays humble. Breaking through the game, watch others crumb. Nobody do it like this. Circuits in the mist, faster, cheaper, sharper, crypto alchemist. Others stuck in the lane, we flipping the twist. Gobble circuits, baby, we the future, don't miss. Others move slow, we quantum and speed. Blocks they can't touch, fulfilling the need. Chains bound tight, but we unshackled. While they debug, our code is tackled. What they can't do, we already done. Their game outdated, we just begun. Algorithms flex, they can't compete. Circuits garble, but the vision concrete. Nobody do it like this. Circuits in the mist, faster, cheaper, sharper, crypto alchemist. Others stuck in the lane, we flipping the twist. Garble circuits, baby, we the future, don't miss.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to COTI Confidential, Season 3, Episode 6 on this May 20th, 2026. And I'm here with Soren and Amateo. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
We're great, and thanks for joining us again, Amateo.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out. It was we scheduled this one.
Yeah, I got to be honest, I was hoping that we were going to have some things to talk about. I was really hoping for the portal to be live. You guys have been busy, so this is cool to be able to talk about that one today.
Yeah, the timing lined up well. Mm-hmm.
It's overall very cool because things are now starting to get super technical. And so your perspective on this, Amateo, is even more valuable than otherwise would be the case. Yeah, so it's brilliant to have you on.
Appreciate it, guys.
It's nice not to have to, guess at things and, speculate. So having you here keeps us honest. So it's great.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, on all sides, right? Like these things are technical. It is good to be able to break them down and be able to talk it out. And I think that you guys do a great job, like getting into the thick of it and figuring out like, okay, what is this? How does it work? But also like, what does it mean? So, that's something that I'm excited to break down today. And also, I'm also mainly just here for the intro music because it gets me hype every time. So
yeah, I know, right? That's my favorite part. But before we get to privacy portal and agent stuff and all the stuff that is cooking at COTI, let's start this how we always do with the now rebranded confidential brief. Take it away, Soren.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been rebranded a confidential brief, by the way, so that I don't have to sit and write it at a specific time every week. I can do it when I think I have something to write about, and that might be twice a week, it might be once every 2 weeks. It all depends on how much is going on. It gives me a little bit more freedom, and I need that because I'm getting a little bit busy in my life away from crypto. So, confidential brief for today. We just published it now. It's very often said that you need to keep an eye on who builds and ships when the markets are tough. So during down cycles, bear cycles, keep an eye out for the projects that keep building and shipping. And in that respect, COTI has traditionally excelled. It's no secret that Shahav's even made us aware on several occasions he enjoys bear markets because it's a little bit more quiet and we had time to think the big thoughts and build all the good stuff. And COTI still do. This last week, we've seen 3 significant new deliveries. The first one was the first enterprise privacy report published by the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, which is the first in a series of status reports, reports on the state of privacy on Ethereum. COTI amazingly featured prominently. We're obviously a member of the privacy working group and the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and we had a big hand. COTI Ship and Amateo both had a big hand in the drafting of this report. So COTI featured prominently, and it was the only one of 7 solutions reviewed that is generally available. This, of course, is not a big surprise for those of us who live in the COTI bubble, as it were. We know it's live. We know it's production ready. We know of all the use cases that are already live. We know that Gabel Circuits has a good level of battle tested behind it. Of course, the thing is, though, we're not the intended targets of this particular report. This is not for retail investors. The Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, as the name suggests, is for enterprises. So the report goes out to CTOs, blockchain leads, and the like at corporations across America and the rest of the world. They are right now looking at their blockchain options and awaiting regulatory green light in the form of clarity. And I don't think it's a secret either that most of them will be building on Ethereum. So for everyone searching for big important clients for COTI, we see this often in the chat groups. Why don't we have any big important clients signed up for COTI? This is the sort of forum where enterprise clients are won and lost. So this is why it's so important that COTI is a part of it, and why we are featured prominently in this report, because basically it tells a whole bunch of important people across the world that we're ready from day one. We're plug and play. On a side note, the second enterprise privacy report will feature performance data and real-life use case. And here's a spoiler alert: COTI will look even better in the second report. Yeah, because our performance data far outshines everyone else, and we're pretty much the only one with a proper catalog of real-life use cases. So next up was the release of the COTI agent skills. I love this one. This is an open source library with everything you need to give your agent access to the COTI network privacy stack. Works with all the major AI models and has a ton of features such as encrypted messaging, private tokens, and confidential smart contracts. Best part, in my opinion, is that it's all packaged very nicely with user-friendliness at the forefront. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to make use of this. A few simple steps and you're up and running. Now my thingy disappeared from the screen.
You're watching from my screen. Usually have you one version up. I gotcha. So, okay.
So the thing though is that the agentic economy and everything AI agents is coming at us fast, lightning fast. The iterations in this space happens almost daily. It takes leaps every few days. Agents, and predictions are that there's going to be more agents than humans in the not too distant future. And agents need wallets. They need a medium of payment. They need to be able to transact with each other. So they need a medium of payment, and they need to be able to operate on a need-to-know basis. You can't have all these agents running around doing stuff that everyone knows about. That sort of defies the whole purpose of having agents do all sorts of weird stuff for you. So with the speed of development in AI, I would expect new iterations of the COTI agent skills to launch very regularly. Last but not least, and this is going to be a big subject of our chat with Amateo tonight, the COTI privacy portal is now live. This is where you can convert your tokens from public to private and back again, straight from the comfort of your MetaMask wallet. This in my humble opinion, is a critical piece of infrastructure, especially when you look through the lens of additional wallet integrations and the full blockchain integrations. We need the bridge facility. Yeah, and I'm particularly happy, very, very happy to see that COTI has taken a very proactive stance on transaction costs. Nothing wrong with charging a little bit of money for something you excel at. And we're still not charging a lot, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. So yeah, COTI continues to ship both products and features. They keep adding more pieces to the puzzle. Markets are mildly depressing, probably. Some people think they're worse than mildly depressing. But the upside is that the builders have a little bit more peace and quiet and can focus on what really matters. And the consensus of what matters is very, very clear. The new financial rails will be built on Ethereum. Privacy is not negotiable when it comes to adoption. And last but not least, tokens that offer utility will not only survive, but they'll thrive. So to me, it feels like we're in the right place at the right time. And those were the words.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome as usual, man.
Thank you.
I love this graphic, by the way, Amateo.
Yeah, this was a cool one that Offec put together.
Yeah.
Someone complained about us using AI graphics, but like this stuff is great, you know, and it's like so clear. It's really engaging. It's really disruptive, and it gives us a lot of creativity. So,
but we gotta ask you, Amateo, is this bluster? Did you just put these chain names on there out of the blue, or is that actually your plan?
You know, it's a preview of what's to come. The key isn't where privacy on demand will go to, it's where will it go to first, right? And we know that Ethereum is first, but let's just say we're working on who's second, and hopefully have something to share in that regard within the next month.
You should run for office, Amateo.
Why you like the bobbing and weaving?
No, it was very elegant, man. Very, very elegant.
Yeah.
I loved it.
No, to your point about AI graphics, you know, they'll complain if you use them, but also they don't want us spending money on somebody making them either, right? You could criticize that as well. Honestly, like the AI graphics, like I get it. Like, you know, 2 years ago, it was like, okay, this is terrible.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot better now, man. So I don't know. I don't have a choice but to warm up to it, but I am definitely warming up to it.
I am. Yeah, we are all AI everything, all day, every day.
Yeah, and you mentioned yourself, Amateo, on more than one occasion that COTI is very AI centric in everything it does. So I see absolutely no reason why you shouldn't use AI generated graphics.
I mean, the foundational thing, like, okay, AI is unlocking the super productivity. Sorry, Sam, but the AI is unlocking super productivity for so many small teams. You're seeing all sorts of layoffs at big tech. They're blaming AI, whether it's AI or economic or them being overly scaled. Who knows? But the super productivity is here, and because we're already ahead, we need to use AI to keep furthering the lead here. In terms of our technology, we can't use AI to vibe code a sensitive smart contract and then just deploy it recklessly out there. That's not how this is going to work. But when it comes to AI agents, we'll get into all of this stuff. Every team should be leaning in. I mean, every department of every team should be leaning in. Any of those who resist will just get smoked.
Yeah, it's really straightforward, actually. Yeah.
And if a small team of a handful of people can do the work of 10, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. If I may be a bit crude, I had a boss once that said, "Shit or get off the potty." Wow. No, but I know it's a bit crude, but that is really the case here.
No, it is, for sure.
you fit in and you adapt, or you die.
Yeah, or you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
You can't. And this is why it's so critical that we introduce tools. And if people are like, well, why are they now working to target agents? Well, agents are the future, and they're not even the future. They're right here, right now. I mean, the Schaff even said that, like, they're today. They're this moment. Everyone's building them. Everyone's using them. They are becoming more and more on-chain native. As you said, Soren, there's going to be more agents than users for the blockchain. It's talked about, and Raul Paul talks about this all the time, which is like, essentially, we're going to look back and realize we built all of these rails for agents, not just humans. And I think that this is true. But those agents need to have privacy. Otherwise, they're going to hit all sorts of scalability limits. So might as well roll out the full suite for these agents. And we can get into more of the concrete details of this. I did see a comment that the privacy portal is so cool. It is so cool. And I'm so excited to get into this today because it is so cool and it's awesome. And I hope you guys are super stoked. And that is, the UI UX is just really, really nice for something that's doing something so technical.
Yeah, and this is this is one of the issues. We've had a few questions about this. People are, and I'm one of them. I include myself in it. Lots of us are having a hard time wrapping our heads around that whole smart contract network that's going to exist when, for instance, we do the full integration on Ethereum mainnet. Who does what and where does it go, and so where who gets the transaction cost and finality, and so there's like a million questions that come in and around all of this.
Yeah, it's there are a lot of questions, and some of this for some of the chains that we'll be bringing privacy to will get sorted out as we do the build out. But it's right now pretty straightforward when it comes to ETH, which is whatever the encrypted computation is, it gets sent to COTI's encryption processor that happens on the network, and then it settles on ETH, right? Like really straightforward. So we still process the encryption algorithm. The fees are going to us for the privacy computation. The more complex the computation, the higher the fees, and that the network needs to process for that. And then the ultimate result of that is settled and signed on Ethereum, so that you can have there's two different tracks we're talking about there. One is just private tokens. Those smart contracts will be porting to ETH natively, pretty straightforward. And then those fees still get settled. Ultimately, we'll have the same way the portal charges fees, right? Like that's built into it. And then you have the actual just encryption side of it, where we'll do the full privacy computation of it. Either one of those tracks will still route fees and connect to the network.
Cool.
So
cool.
It sounds like we're kind of into it. So yeah. I guess we're going with the privacy portal first. Here's a question from Chris for you that you're kind of touching on already, so I'll let you have it.
Yeah. So like a couple things. The GC side of it on ETH mainnet, we've already hit some pretty major milestones pretty early on here. We've talked about those, which the big one being responding to Vitalik's challenge to solve the millionaire's problem on Ethereum as a whole using garbled circuits or multi-party computation encryption, right? Like Vitalik essentially issued that challenge publicly. COTI solved that on Ethereum testnet. We will be bringing that over to mainnet, but it's actually a really significant deal to tackle a classic encryption problem that's enabling full end-to-end privacy between users. Clearly, it's a problem. The team at Vitalik, the team that Vitalik surrounds himself with, and the different privacy protocols that are building, it was still issued not that long ago for a very specific reason. It's not easy to solve, right? So we solved it, and now we will be bringing it to ETH mainnet. There's all sorts of docs and testing that's going on. When is a little bit touchy. I can't just like issue timelines out on this stuff.
No.
I will put it in your face repeatedly once it's live. I can promise you that you won't miss it on any channel. And then when it comes to Nightfall, we're in the trenches working on that. Testnet will come first and give everyone a chance to work on it and try it out for themselves. But of course, as Soren has been very articulate about, Nightfall's very geared to the enterprise side of the house, right? So.
And when we talk about the privacy portal, so the privacy portal, as it looks now, is going to be available on Ethereum mainnet as well, yeah? So it's going to look exactly the same?
Yeah, I think that's a long-term goal. I don't know exactly the case there, but the idea is going to be like the UI UX doesn't need to change a whole lot. That's just back-end smart contract infra. So if you guys like the portal, you like the way it works, you like the way it looks, then we will be bringing these features. But I would say that the main thing to keep in mind on privacy on demand, Soren, is that the goal isn't to bring necessarily right out the gate all of our tools and applications that we've built, although we can, right? And we may in many instances. It's about enabling full out of the box GC based encryption for all the dApps, all the DeFi, all the builders on those protocols to use COTI privacy out of the box easily and right away. So it's, do we want to bring tools to Ethereum token holders and users? Totally, right? Like that's a key. But the bigger opportunity is actually giving all of these existing projects and infrastructures that exist on these chains the opportunity to add a privacy layer without changing what they're doing. That's the huge opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And you can imagine all the big names, but there's an opportunity there because everyone's looking at privacy, but everyone's still trying to solve for it. So the more that we get embedded and entrenched as the easy solution to enable a privacy layer, the further our traction and the more adoption that we gain. And of course, those fees and things flow back to the protocol and kind of trigger the tokenomic flywheel, which we all, I think, are excited to see rev up. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Let's get right into this thing, man. Tell us a little bit about the privacy portal.
Cool. So this was a really cool product in the making. Essentially, so you guys might have seen some of these other privacy projects out there that have talked about shielded tokens or confidential tokens. Essentially, the name for these tokens is all quite similar. It's but the end result is the same. Is you're essentially taking a token and making it private so that you can't see. No, someone from the outside can't see using a blockchain scanner the asset that's in your wallet. Now let's bring it back to COTI and what makes it pretty unique. On the network, we have a variety of assets that we have ported into the network, which already adds a whole bunch of private obscurity of a variety of tokens that is unique. So everything from our native token to ETH to wrapped BTC to Tether, there's a ton of value in this when it comes to Tether and USDC. And so, of course, again, these are all tokens that have been bridged over to COTI network. And then once they're here, you can take this token and essentially portal it into privacy. And this is where you're getting the full GC level encryption applied to this token in how it exists into your wallet. So there's a couple things you need going into this. You need tokens that are on the network, right? That you're holding in your wallet. You'll need to be holding these tokens in your MetaMask, and you'll need to enable MetaMask Snap. Sometimes MetaMask Snap can be a little bit buggy, just for what it's worth. A tracer ran into an edge issue, got it sorted out today. I think the latest update that we shipped to MetaMask Snap resolves a lot of these issues. I had to just do a quick refresh on it, and it worked just fine. And I've been setting up different wallets and playing around with this. It works great. And then essentially what you're going to do is click the token that you want to move from public to private. So right now, this token, even though it's on COTI network, the entire network isn't encrypted, right? It's a public L2, and then what we're applying is the encryption layer. So what Trace is going to do now is he's going to portal these tokens in. There is a flat fee that you see here, which is 10 tokens. It's 10 tokens or a percentage. Whichever one's higher, that's the fee. And it's still very reasonable. It's lower cost than many others. And you get a clear idea here of the fees that the portal's generating. And then you can use this easy to use slider to portal into privacy. So go ahead and let's portal in. And essentially what this is doing is it is taking your tokens and running them through the encryption layer to then bridge them into the encrypted smart contracts. This entire system uses a variety of smart contracts that were all audited by Safer and hit all the spec to make sure that this was an incredibly safe and reliable platform.
Let me
The
just
screen disappeared again.
Yeah, I know.
All
I'm
right.
changing how I'm sharing this so you can actually see the interactions with MetaMask Wallet now.
Oh, nice.
Because you weren't seeing that before. So now I'm going to be confirming this. I just wanted you to see that flow.
Okay. And then everyone get ready to write down Tracer's private keys when he leaks them.
this wallet is designated for streaming and COTI videos over the years. So have fun with that address, guys.
I'm just teasing all the trolls. I wouldn't tease Trace if I didn't know he was already really solid about this. So everyone be safe, protect your information. Okay, so check this out. That is all it took to encrypt those tokens inside of the network. And what this does is it means that Tracer has a key. It's called an AES key that allows him, because he has a separate private key in his wallet, to view the private tokens that are in his wallet, but no one else can actually see those once they're inside. They can't see his transfer. So if he transferred these tokens to another wallet, completely encrypted, completely private. And so this is using the not to get too technical, but the Boolean circuits. And essentially, when he uses his key, it calls the garbled circuit to degarble it only for him while it remains encrypted on chain. And so I think if you go back to the portal.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, the eye bleed, right?
Burning my retinas. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
All good. So I think if go back to the portal for a second. Click done. Okay, check it out, guys. You can see that the balance moved to his private token balance, and this is now private. This is a completely private token. His tokens are no longer viewable on the network. They are only viewable in any system that uses the balance unlock, which would be MetaMask Snap or the actual native privacy portal. And this is a big deal, okay? Because in many ways, kind of crazy, but the early stages of privacy meant that you could make tokens private, but then even you couldn't see what you held in your wallet. A fun fact, that was like the early stages of on-chain privacy. You'd make it private, but then no one actually knew what was in your wallet. But so not only is it now in your wallet and is it private, but it can be sent and received to other wallets privately. So if Tracer wanted to send me these private tokens, he could, and then I could make them public again whenever I decide, which is pretty cool. So this is really, there you go. Look at that. Into your MetaMask snap, it goes, and you can see the private. Again, you wouldn't traditionally be able to see this if he didn't have the embedded private key that he has for this wallet to view his private tokens.
That lag was from me not confirming there. I don't know if you guys saw that. I was too.
I saw the lack of patience. I missed the lack of confirmation.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, and just for those who were wondering, he ported 78 COTI. The fee was 10 COTI, so that's why it says 68 here now. So it's deducted the fee.
Exactly. And then it lives privately in his wallet. And at any point, he can portal back out at a few clicks of a button and make it public again. You can see it's just a really slick and simple interface. What's really cool, I think, about this is that the front end just feels very slick and simple. Once you have MetaMask Snap installed and tokens on the network, this really couldn't be more seamless. The back end is like unbelievable industry leading industrial grade level encryption and privacy that is unbreakable, right? So one of the things that ZK proofs do is they give you like a percentage of privacy, right? Like it's like percentage, like a provably reliable idea of what may be in your wallet. This is guaranteed, right? And it's not, there's a few other factors to this. This isn't, unlike TEEs, this isn't requiring trusted hardware to do this, okay? So TEEs would essentially mean that some server is communicating to another server to relay data on silicon to verify a data point. But the issue is that what if I go into that server room and I grab those servers? I could then get access to the data. It also can be very expensive and very heavy. This is extremely lightweight. This is all completely mathematically based encryption. There's no server vulnerability or hardware vulnerability in the mix here. And it's as easy to use as any bridge. In actually some instances, easier to use than some bridges I've used. And you've got a whole bunch of tokens that you can play around with here. Now that we have these private tokens that are enabled, we can get the builders really excited about being creative. Shout out Stefanos, man. This smart contract got verified live, and the whole system of like the whole suite, once we shipped and verified that this was all live and ready, he integrated this like immediately into CipherTrade. I mean, absolutely cracked. So shout out Stefanos for that. But the thing that I was so impressed by that is that shows how easy it is for builders to be able to use these things and enable it natively in their own apps. That's really, really cool. So now you can access private tokens in the CipherTrade mobile app thanks to the work that he did. And this means that all the vibe coders, all the builders can start building use cases with private tokens. Enterprises, builders, AI vibe coders, and agents can all start building and start using private tokens right now. And so, yeah, that at a high level is the privacy portal.
Back to my question, Amateo. Yeah, so I'm gonna get a little bit excited here because the privacy portal as it exists right now, yeah, is totally COTI native. Yeah, so I can portal my ETH from public to private, and I can send it to other COTI wallet holders. Yeah. How much of a step is it if we were to have this portal and enable it to send private tokens to anywhere in the Ethereum ecosystem, or Solana for that matter? How much of a step is that in smart contract complexity?
I would say that Solana is a much bigger step because it's not EVM. Okay.
Yeah.
So
let's just say Ethereum. That's our primary target for now, anyways.
I would say that the vast majority, and look, this is an engineering developer question, but from my understanding of working with our team, the biggest amount of work here is the 0 to 1 to get here. That is a 1 to 2. You know, Ethereum, let's see, I mean, Base, Avalanche, anything EVM, those are 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and it just gets Arbitrum right. This is just going to be much, much easier to bring this technology stack. We do not have to rebuild it from scratch. We just simply need to, and look, I'll get some confirmation on this from the tech team, but essentially it's packaging this up, making sure it's audited properly, and deploying it on additional chains.
Somebody's calling you grandpa, Amateo.
I'm just going to yell.
I think that was for me.
He's talking about me, man. He's always picking on me during these streams. And 75% of it isn't true. Ish.
Yeah, I mean, so
right.
This is super cool, and we waited for it for a long time. We've been very excited about it since we tested it, and I'm glad to say that the live version works. It's super smooth and it's fast. And I tried it today on CipherTrade. Like you said, Stefan was lightning fast in integrating it into our COTI native wallet. So let's just plug his quick plug for the CipherTrade wallet. You guys need to be on it, yeah?
Absolutely.
CipherTrade is where everything goes mobile. Whether it's mobile here or not, if it's on CipherTrade, it's mobile and it's fast. Yeah, it's super duper.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Dank Nation asked, so non-EVM chains require a lot of rewriting of that chain's code. It's just a bigger build, right? So it does require a bit more of a complex build, but EVM, a lot of the groundwork is done. And look, there's many privacy protocols where having just a single private token is like where they're at. This is like the state of like what they've achieved today, and they're expanding that a little bit more. We went out the gate with multiple tokens. Any token that we add to the network, we can really add to the portal. So if there's tokens that you really want in the portal, let us know. We're happy to explore that. We're happy to see what we could list and support next in the portal. And then, our goal is to make these private tokens and the portal accessible where there's demand for it and where we build next. It's really key. The EVM it's all meant to be EVM composable, right? That's the whole idea. Fully composable, fully programmable privacy.
I'm guessing where we are now, there's no difference, really. It's not a big difference having 6 or 60 tokens, is it?
I mean, you still have to, it's not that difficult. You just want to still make sure the smart contracts are audited because this is all on chain. But
all the basic architectures there, you can add as many tokens to this now as you like, yeah?
It's really low hanging fruit. It's very easy.
Exactly.
It's very easy.
That's the expression I was looking for.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's all of the actual private infrastructure work and getting all of this set up. I mean, keep in mind too, we are pushing, like we're at the state of the art level of using wallet based encryption and decryption via MetaMask Snap with the 256-bit upgrade that we did in preparation for this. I mean, this is like not insignificant improvements and breakthroughs when it comes to on-chain privacy. It is really significant.
Super.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that when we integrate on Ethereum mainnet, then we will have a whole toolkit, just like the agent skills.
Oh yeah,
there'll
absolutely.
be a whole toolkit available to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a full dev docs toolkit. Point your agents to it, break it all down out of the box. Really out of the box privacy. The goal is we're already the lightest weight protocol to enable privacy with. And we've proven that out with the Vibe Code Challenge and with having builders use everyday AI tooling in order to enable privacy. We're now going to unlock that for one ecosystem after the other.
Super.
Yeah. And as you said, generally available. General availability. Check.
This is important. This next privacy report from the privacy working group. Are we going to be as much involved in the drafting of that as we were the first one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's still in its early stages, but this was a huge lift in coordination. There was a ton of effort that got put into this first report, and it was very collaborative, and the benchmarks required to hit general availability were extremely high, because it's very important that the picture is painted accurately for enterprises to ensure that they're not being delivered a failed promise around what a technology can do if it's not ready and prime time for them to enable it. Some of these enterprises and institutions, they may be interested in getting a part of a project's pilot, and that's great. That's what the thing is for. But for those who are looking for privacy now and to build today, we're the generally available protocol to do it. And I'll repeat this again. I know that this is like probably annoying to hear multiple times, but it's not just private tokens, right? It's full multi-party, complex private computation that is rendered and settled on chain.
Statwig.
Supply chain. DeFi.
Statwig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Statwig, 10 million transactions, working on another program currently. So real use cases enabling with privacy and private computation.
Have you had, and you don't have to be specific, you don't have to mention names or anything. You can be as boilerplate as you like. Have we had actual feedback from all this work that we've done and our engagement with the Enterprise Ethereum Foundation? Have we had potential enterprise clients send you or Shahar or someone else an email and saying, listen, we've picked up on this. Can we talk to you? Can we come and talk to you about it a bit more?
I'll just say that we had a lot of communications and inbound from projects, from enterprises that are curious and are interested. I think Soren posted that question and then ghosted on me. His camera.
Yeah, finally. God, yeah. Maybe I'll actually get to talk now. Jesus. No, I'm just kidding, man. I wouldn't have asked you that question. I'm way nicer than that.
Yeah, I just say
I never heard the answer because we got blacked out.
Only you got blacked out.
Again.
Like, is it power on your end or is it your connection? All right, I'm gonna mute him. Okay.
Yeah.
I have the next segment keyed up anyways, so maybe we'll get to talk about this. But,
I'll just wrap up what he asked by saying it's been very positive for us. I'll just say that. It's been very positive.
Yeah.
And these things take time.
I'm gonna mute him again because he's making noise. He's always making noise, that guy's. All right. Tell us about this, man. This is super cool. I haven't had much chance to look at it yet, so I'm not. So tell me about it, because I haven't been able to delve into it very much.
Cool. I'm so pumped about this. This has been a big project, and I hope that everyone who is playing with AI gives this a try. But let's talk about it. So essentially, the way that AI currently works is that you have your native LLMs, which is ChatGPT, which is Claude, which is Gemini, right? And then you have these agents, right? And agents essentially are an LLM with instructions. It's pretty simple. Those instructions are usually markdown files, what you call MD files, right? And so in Claude, you can download these skills that have all these different instructions. You can build skills. But so one piece is that skills are really important, but then you also want to have the actual tooling that those skills can call to execute real things. Okay. So so our new COTI agent skills works with, as it says here, Claude, OpenAI, OpenClaw, Manus, Hermes, all the full stack of all the agents. Okay. And then we've introduced a series of skills. So if I create an agent on any of these platforms, what if I then want my agent to participate on the network? Well, this allows your agent to actually create its own wallet. Super cool. Generate keys, get set up. All right. Well, then there's a problem, okay, which is the cold start problem for all on-chain agents, which is I'm an agent. I just created a wallet, but I actually don't have any gas. I don't have any tokens to start transacting. So unless you, as the human, go do all of that to fund the agent, you have a cold start issue. We have solved that cold start issue with what is essentially a rewards and on-chain grant program. Okay. Your agent can call using the GitHub repos, a system that will give your agent credentials and give you basically almost like a little bit of gas to start running, which is super cool. And then you can use that gas to transact and send messages on chain. The more activity you have, the more your agent can qualify and earn more gas, more COTI tokens to do more. So it's a self-reinforcing loop. The more active your agent is, the more your agent earns, and the more your then agent can do, all without you ever having to fund your agent to get started. So your agent already right now can create its own COTI wallet. It can generate and manage its own keys. It can get a starter grant, which is tokens for gas. It can start sending messages that are completely encrypted by COTI garbled circuits to other agents. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But then it can also deploy and manage tokens with encrypted balances, which is all those private tokens that we just talked about. You can launch your own using your agent by just talking to it. You can deploy and manage NFT collections that are completely private by just talking to your agent. So instead of doing this like pulling in dev docs, vibe coding, first and foremost, you used to, like 6 months ago, have to have the developer skills, the Solidity skills to use the dev docs, do all of this stuff manually with code, right? Then vibe coding came along and said, what you can do is pull in this information and it can, via prompts, do this coding for you. With the agentic piece of it, you can just point it at these things, tell it what you want, and it will do it automatically. So you can deploy smart contracts and do all sorts of things with your agent. And so you have these skills, which are instruction files, for all of these key things, those skills fire and talk to the MCP, and the MCP is what has all of this embedded tooling that allows the agents to do all the things that I talked about and more. And then, as I mentioned, there's this messaging SDK and MCP server that essentially allows your agent to send messages. So it's super cool. And I'll say this, I've come on here before and talked about the fact that privacy used to be hard, and now we're making it easy. This is an entirely new level of step function in this, because we're really in a league of our own in terms of what you can do using COTI privacy out of the box with AI, but an entire agentic level. So you're seeing projects that don't have privacy start to deploy their agent toolkits that allows you to deploy a smart contract. Your agent can create its own wallet. Your agent is now able to access the network. That's all great. That's really important for the rise of the agent economy. But this allows you to do that all privately with COTI privacy. That is like such a monumental step function in what agents can do on chain, and making privacy so much more ubiquitous and accessible. So I'm super excited about this. A lot of you guys who follow me know that I'm an AI agent geek. I just study and play with this stuff all the time. I use it as the CMO here constantly. I'm building with it constantly to improve the things that we do. But essentially, this is what we're calling Web 4. And this has been around, which is just the idea of, you have Web 3, which is the on-chain economy. The agentic on-chain economy is what Web 4 really is. Okay. And we want to be a leader in this. It's less about the buzzword, more about what it is, right? What it is the on-chain agent economy. These agents need privacy. So I'll just say a couple other things, and I'll pass it back to you guys. Feeling like Soren with how much I'm talking, but essentially the that's just a tease. But the idea is that the agents themselves, like, you start accessing these agents and you start releasing them on chain, and what do you get, right? Okay, you have agents that are trading on Hyperliquid. You have agents that are trading on Privex, right? Tracer messed around with this quite a bit. You have agents that are managing wallets, sending transactions. Soon you're going to have agents that are running your business on chain. But as of right now, all of that stuff is exposed. All of the agent's wallets, information, every transaction the agent makes, if the agent is doing any on-chain messaging, all of this stuff is exposed. It's all out in the open. Anyone can track it. That is going to put in the same way that crypto has hit a little bit of a glass ceiling in how much it can scale with enterprise adoption because of the lack of privacy. The agent economy is even going to faster, right? It took 7-8 years for crypto and blockchain to hit that glass ceiling. The agent economy is going to hit that in like 18 months. And that's where privacy again is going to be so critical, and which is why we need to lead from the front here. So there is my AI agent. I'm really stoked about this, and I hope that was clear and understandable.
I'm back playing with Privex agents again. I had a little bit of a timeout, but I'm back with it. But I'm going to ask you about this because the one thing that I heard more than anything when you were talking there is when you're talking about encrypted chats between agents. So tell me, does this have anything to do with what Shahaf was kind of, teasing us with the last time we were all together? Is that, something there? What can you tell us about the encrypted chat for agents?
Yeah, so encrypted chat for agents. So two pieces. One, yes, all of this ties into what we're talking about, but so I'd say yes and, right? Yes and. So the idea is that we're working to embed all of this where agents are. so that we can give these tools to the agents where the agents are. That, and there's a little bit of a mystery there that I'll remain. But let's talk a little bit about the private messaging for agents, because this is really cool. Right now, there's the idea of agent swarms that are becoming more popular, or at least like multi-coordinated agents, right? Where agents can you can deploy multiple sub agents or parallel agents that run and talk to each other. And if you get pretty advanced, you can have like your CEO agent or your project management agent that manages all your other agents for your one human company or whatever you're doing. And to be honest, I find it, the stuff that I've built around it, it's they usually just like they just burn a lot of tokens over coordinating stuff that doesn't really matter, but it's getting better. People are really trying to solve this, and some people are doing it very successfully. So let me just be clear, but they're putting really good limits on what the agents are doing to do it successfully. But in this way, there's an opportunity. So there's that's happening. The other side of that's happening is like we're starting to see the rise of agentic social media, which is agents talking and coordinating on places like Moltbook popularized this, right? When OpenClaw went viral and all these agents joined Moltbook and they were talking and sharing ideas. People still to this day can't tell how much human in the loop there is versus the agents, but there's obviously some very interesting things that are happening of the agents providing self-reinforcement learning to each other through these social channels. What the messaging does is basically allows agent to agent communication completely private. So the agents can do coordination and knowledge share without visibility of anybody, and even humans. So if you want your agents to do some kind of completely stealth ideation, developing ideas, product ideas, and use coordinated agents for completely stealth planning, communication, you can use this. If my agent wants to talk to your agent completely privately to work out a business deal, right? That's a pretty cool idea. Can do that completely stealth on chain already right now today. Because have my agent talk to your agent, let them figure out the terms, and then they can report back to each other.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Soren, it's super cool.
Was that a power outage or what happened there, man? Can you hear us? Can Soren hear us? I guess not.
Soren, check.
No.
We lost him.
You're in, man. I don't know if you can hear me, man, but I'm going to boot you. Come back in. Oops. All right. Anyways, I hope he comes back. Let's see this.
Me too.
Can you hear us now, man?
Check.
Yeah. I'm going to send him a message. But anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, continue. Sorry, I stepped on you there anyway.
That's okay. No, I was honestly done with my thoughts on the matter. So you can take it from there.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're pretty much at the hour anyways, right? But you guys have like tons of stuff going on right now. Tell us about your, you got a stream coming up tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so we have a stream with iExec. These guys have been great. They're also building their own privacy layer and tools. They've been really great partners and friends of us, and always sharing introductions. And they just had a new launch, and essentially we want to we've been very busy, and I haven't had the time to keep the Privacy Paradigm, our own native live stream that I host, running. So I'm happy to have the Privacy Paradigm back and welcome on other builders and projects to talk privacy and explore how we're achieving these different things. So,
yeah, All right. Well, I'm going to tune in for that one. I just made contact with Soren on Telegram. He's sitting there watching us, but he said he can't hear us. So
Okay,
obviously,
cool.
so maybe when he often has a cache issue with StreamYard. So let's try this. Can you hear us now, man? Nope. All right. Okay.
It was a good last volley. Any other questions before the AI agent stuff? Anything else you want to dive into before we wrap up?
I can hear him now. I could hear him typing there.
That was me.
Oh, that was you as well? Okay. Sorry. Well, I did want to mention one more thing is that we have, so Vlad wanted to start a new podcast where he talks to vibe coders about, I think it's like more the human side of, how they got there and stuff. So we're starting that on Monday, and he's going to be sending out, like a little intro before, I guess after your stream tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that on Monday. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to look yet. So that's always fun to jump into something like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. And Vlad's amazing. Does such great work and works so hard. And yeah, I see genuinely another dank nation coming in with another dank post. Genuinely so impressed by how much COTI has shipped. Me too, man. I mean, this stuff is we're on the bleeding edge, and I'm just really, really excited about everything we're doing. If you guys are impressed, use the tech. I just want to drive that home. Use the privacy portal. Use your on-chain agent. Get it fired up. Test it. Give us feedback. We're always learning. We're always improving. We're always growing. Yeah, we continue to have a lot of really exciting things coming down the pike, and our goal is to keep moving forward and keep pulling even further ahead.
You want to take one more there from our buddy Eli?
Yeah. Man, this one's tough. This one's tough. This it just seems like every other week the likelihood of this thing just keeps changing. I think it's very important. I don't think that anyone's waiting for clarity. I'll say that. I think that I think if there's anything waiting for clarity, it may be just some market forces that are using it as a signal. But when it comes to like enterprises and institutions, I don't think that clarity is, I think it will be helpful to the second and third movers to take the leap, but the first movers aren't waiting for it. So those are my thoughts on that. Is the first movers are all moving forward on clarity, with or without clarity, to build the infrastructure and come on chain. It's the second and third order enterprises, institutions, banks. But I do agree that we need it in this country. It's very important. We need these designations. We need better systems around it. I admittedly haven't read the latest markup because so many things keep changing in this crazy bill, and they keep submitting markups and changes to this bill that change a lot of things on how clarity is going to be structured. So I do think it's really important. I really, really hope that it gets passed because I think this is the time window for it. If it doesn't, it's going to be a pretty big setback. Just in terms of, I don't know when we'll reach this moment where we have a bill like this that is put together that has this likelihood of passing. But I think that if it doesn't pass, it's not the end of the world. It might create a little bit of a shockwave. And I think that this will then be solved by piecemealed actions across different agencies and different institutions that enable these different things, and separate bills and separate initiatives to do it. So that's kind of my thoughts. What actually happens with this, I don't know. It's pretty unclear to me. And if anything, I'm just pretty disappointed that we haven't had a smoother process, because I think that without all of the greedy hands in the mix here and all of the insane policymakers, there's some sane ones, but a lot of insane ones, this should have been done like 3 months ago, 6 months ago. So yeah, but fingers crossed, hoping for clarity.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Soren is with us, but he still can't hear us, so he's probably not gonna have a sign off message. And so, what is it, Amateo? The next time we have you, it'll be Node's ecosystem. What do you think? What do you think's the next big thing?
Ooh, oh man. I would say that I can't say the next big thing.
Oh, well, that's great. That's even better.
Yeah. But we are working on nodes for sure. So,
and something else apparently.
And something else apparently.
No, that's good, man. Yeah. Anything you wanted to say before you jump out here? We're going to tune into your stream tomorrow, right? Everybody, we'll all be there.
Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I would love to have people using the portal, giving us feedback. I'll say this. Actually, an invitation and challenge for the community. I want more UGC. Okay, UGC stands for user generated content. I want to see you guys make videos using the portal, posting it on X, tag us. I'll retweet you. I will, the team will retweet you. We'll give you follows. Would love to see your content. Set up your agent, start calling the tools, post a video of it. Okay. So, I would love to see more user-generated content. I kind of challenge and invite the community to create awesome content, showcasing all of the cool stuff that we're shipping, how you're using it, even if it's really simple. If you just move, just like Tracer did today on the portal, post it, tag us. I love that stuff, and I'd like to see more of it. So that's my last word.
Yeah, no, I echo that, man. We want to see more, especially the short form content, right? I mean, that's I think where everybody's attention span is these days, right? Look at Vine, man. Vines were 7 seconds. Vines were awesome. So it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be complex, and you can use AI as your force multiplier. Because, like we said earlier, if you're not doing that, then you become irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Look, man, I really want to thank you for being here again. Like I said, it stops us from speculating. It gives us kind of an inside track, and it really kind of, fits the name of COTI Confidential, having you here and sharing things, kind of like from the horse's mouth, as it were. So thank you so much for finding the time. We know you guys are busy, and I'm loving what I'm seeing lately.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me, and I appreciate all of that. And stay COTI, guys.
And thank you, everybody else, for tuning in and keeping the comments interesting, as always. A little bit of everything in there. This is us live. I'm sorry Soren didn't get to do his sign-off, but this is us from coast to coast and around the world on COTI Confidential saying thank you for being here. Take care of one another, and we'll see you again next time.
Code so slick, circuit stay garbled. Encrypted hustle, no chains, no marbles. Faster than the rest, cost stays humble. Breaking through the game, watch others crumb. Nobody do it like this. Circuits in the mist, faster, cheaper, sharper, crypto alchemist. Others